But it is now time to talk about the main topic of today. Since Drew McIntyre defeated Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship this past Friday on SmackDown, we're going to talk about the top 10, our top 10 individual lists, the top 10 world title wins on television.
Yes,
So,
yeah. So this includes Raw and SmackDown. Pretty much any
mhm,
show that isn't a pay-per-view or PLE.
right.
And there's been a handful, but some stood
I
out
have one non-Raw
more
and
than
SmackDown
others.
show. It's Saturday night's main event.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go
I think
first?
I think all mine is Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
have 1 through 10, but I'm not gonna really. I don't necessarily have an order. Like, I'm not saying, oh, this one's the best one, and 10 is like the worst of the. No, I have a list of 10, but it's not in any specific order.
Okay. Mine is pretty
Um,
much listed by order.
yeah. Well, I mean, this first one I would say because I feel like it's probably the most famous world title change on Monday Night Raw, and that's Mankind defeating The Rock with the
Hmm.
help of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right. Well, we'll get to that. That's no spoiler alert, but that's very, very high in my list. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most iconic moments in Monday Night Raw history
And
right
that's
there.
also one of the loudest pops Stone Cold ever got.
Oh my gosh.
I
That's
mean, Stone
probably
Cold
the,
always got loud pops, but that was
yeah.
probably his loudest pop.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no,
Like
no question.
as soon as that glass shattered, you couldn't hear his music. That's how loud it
Hmm.
was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and then he just comes in, hits the Rock with the chair, and then leaves.
Yep.
He says he
Hmm.
comes to open up a can and then leave.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, my number 10, because I'm doing this by order here, is AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal in England on SmackDown, November 2017. One of the reasons, I think the big reason for this match that they had is because Brock Lesnar did not want to face Jinder Mahal at Survivor
And
Series.
and I don't think anybody wanted to see Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal.
Right. Jinder Mahal had been
Well,
champion
well,
for many,
maybe
many
well,
months.
well, maybe you because I know Jinder Mahal is your favorite WWE champion of all
Oh
time.
my
So
gosh. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. Uh, but Jinder Mahal had beaten Randy Orton very much like in a shock victory. I forgot which pay per view it was, but back in 2017,
backlash. It was a backlash.
Backlash. Yeah, and he was champion for a majority of that year, surprisingly. But it was time to get the WWE title off of Jinder and put it back onto AJ going into the Royal Rumble, and then yeah, having and then was this? Oh, this was
No, no, it was
2017,
going into Survivor Series. It was going into
right?
Survivor
Sorry, yeah,
Series
going
because that's
into
when they were
yeah,
still, yeah, because that's when they were still
yeah,
doing, champion versus champion, Raw versus SmackDown.
right, exactly.
And then AJ won in London, which was interesting because I think they had mentioned, I forget the exact number, but I know they said it was the first title change outside of the US I think,
Yeah.
on a Raw or SmackDown. I think it was the first title change to take place outside of North America.
Hmm. Exactly. All right, you go ahead again.
Yeah, okay. So I know I kind of already gave away my number one, but another one that I have, well, I guess I could go like 1 through 10, and you can go 10. I mean, like I said, mine aren't really in any particular order. Um, but I do have Big E beating Bobby Lashley after he cashed in his Money in the Bank, which I believe was what
Yeah,
2021.
2021.
Yeah,
So
and
that's actually my number nine. That's actually my number nine
yeah, so
moment.
I have that because I feel like Biggie worked so hard and it was
Oh
a really
yeah.
deserving moment for him.
Hmm.
And like literally when after the ref counted three, the he got a massive pop from the crowd. Biggie was super over.
Oh my gosh.
It
Yeah.
was well deserved, especially seeing how Kofi Kingston got his moment 2 years
Right.
prior at
Hmm.
WrestleMania. So it was kind of cool to just see Biggie finally get his moment because I think because before his injury, Biggie was very entertaining. He was great on the mic, great in the ring. Like he had like everything you look for in a champion, and so I think it was great, and also not to. It was kind of cool to see, you know, two. to African Americans fighting for the WWE title.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, this is my number nine moment or match for a non-title, sorry, a world title match on television. This is my number nine match here. Yeah, I think this is such an incredible moment for many many reasons. One, it being that it's Big E because of the neck injury that he suffered shortly thereafter. And so for him to have had this moment means a lot more to fans and probably himself. I can only imagine. Um, but yeah, I mean, this what an incredible moment. The were there fans here? I don't think there was fans. Was there fans? Yes, there was. Yeah, there was fans in the building
Yes.
for this. Yeah, and I just have to remember because I think this was right after the Thunderdome era.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was fans in the building, and I do remember like the ovation that they gave for Big E because he had worked tremendously hard to get to this moment, and everyone knew that he was a future world champion, but it just never happened. And for it to happen to Kofi, people just wanted it so bad for Big E, and for him to finally have his moment to become WWE champion was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And so going on to my third one here, which might surprise some people, but I actually have Bobby Lashley
Hmm.
because he defeated the Miz. Or
Okay,
wait, no, was it Miz? No, 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 no. He defeated Drew McIntyre
okay. Was this
because I
during the Thunderdome era?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, or no, was it? No, 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 no. It was Miz. It was Miz because Miz
Yeah, this was
cashed in
Miz.
his
Yeah.
yeah, Miz cashed in his Money in the Bank to win it, and then he was dodging like all challengers, and then Bobby was promised it, and Bobby got the match. It was a squash, but it was cool to see because Bobby Lashley, it was the first time he ever won a world title. He never won a world title before, even in his first run, when there were times where he probably should have been world champion during his first run. So that's why
Hmm.
I have it, because it's like he finally won a world title and he was doing some of his best work at the time. So that's why I have it here on my list.
It's weird to think about 2020, 2021. I mean, in that Thunderdome era, I mean, that is such missable Monday Night Raws for me. I do not remember. I remember Bobby Lashley being champion, but gosh, I totally forgot that The Miz was WWE champion for like a week
2 weeks, yeah,
during,
like 2 weeks.
and
Yeah.
holy shit, like that is just out of my memory bank for some reason. I mean, it's not that long
Well,
ago,
yeah,
too.
well, because that was the Money in the Bank that Otis won, and then the Miz won it
Mm,
from him in a match.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're in such, look at where WWE is now, back 5 years ago. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable the change in the company.
It really goes to show you how much the crowd makes a difference.
Right. Exactly. But all right, going on to my number eight. It is a Iron Man match. Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. SmackDown, August 2003. This is coming off the heels of SummerSlam 2003 and the heated rivalry between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. I remember this match. It was a 30-minute Iron Man match, and these guys went balls to the walls in that time period. This is one of the rare times that an Iron Man match was on television and on, on UPN. I remember just being so hooked into watching this match. Brock Lesnar defeated Kurt Angle to win again the WWE title. Yeah, but this is starting up heel Brock Lesnar going into the fall of 2003 and eventually into 2004.
Was this Brock's second world title win?
I believe it might have been his second or third.
Yeah, because he beat
Yeah.
The Rock for his first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because
hmm
I know he won it again. I just
No, this is probably his third because then he won his second at WrestleMania 19 and then he lost it in between and then regained it here.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah,
So
what a
yeah,
great
so
match. Yeah. Between
but
these
yeah,
two. I mean, you have Kurt Angle at his absolute peak here. Brock Lesnar, a young Brock Lesnar, like, I mean, the most athletic strongman you can ever imagine at that point. Yeah, really, really, really good match.
yeah, yeah. So then the next one on my list, I have Rey Mysterio winning the WWE Championship on Raw in 2011. Now I know most people remember this as the night John Cena basically took Ray's moment away,
He
which is
did because
fine.
he's selfish. He's
I'm not gonna
selfish.
disagree. I ain't gonna disagree with you there, but before that, it was a nice moment for Ray because he hadn't been champion, or he'd been world champion before, but he had never been WWE champion. And so it
Yeah,
was nice to see him like get his moment, even though it was didn't last long. But you could tell the crowd was happy. They were celebrating backstage, like popping champagne and all that.
yeah,
So it was just cool to see Ray get recognized for all his hard work. And I remember because I watched it. It was him versus the Miz in the finals because there was a tournament. The WWE champion. I vividly remember watching that episode of Monday
because
Night Raw when Rey
because CM
Mysterio
Punk
won the title.
because CM Punk won the
Pre
title at Money in the
Yes,
Bank.
at some yes, yeah, this was following him leaving. And then after later in that night, I know Cena won the title, but then that's Punk came
Weirdly,
back.
two things from that night I do remember. One, that the title that Rey Mysterio won looked like such a replica title. If you go
It
back
was
and
a
watch it,
toy belt. It was
it was a
probably
replica toy belt that he won. And I was thinking to myself, why the F did they not have like an actual title to give him? Um, Whatever the reason was. Two, I remember Jim Ross being on commentary for that match, and I don't remember Jim Ross during that era, 2011.
think those are well, because 2011 outside of the summer of Punk was not a very good year for WWE.
Yeah. Well, it was, I think, well, it had its hit. The Rock was back, some good moments there. And I think, well, obviously the Punk and Cena stuff was a very big hit. CM Punk was on the up and coming, but yeah, then some pretty bad moments too.
So I have that one. Even though I know most people remember for John Cena winning the title at the end of the
Hmm.
night, but I still think it was a great moment for Ray. The crowd was happy, and it was just nice to see Ray finally win the WWE Championship.
All right. So my number seven is a fatal four way to crown a new Universal Champion. This is coming off the heels of SummerSlam 2016, where Finn Balor, who we talked about earlier, had to relinquish the newly won Universal Championship because of a shoulder injury. But Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus weirdly Big Cass.
Big
Ah,
ass,
Big
big
Ass.
ass.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
a really odd time when they were trying to push Big Cass, and it
yeah,
not that it didn't work. It just like it was so random that like a tag team wrestler just suddenly getting a world title match.
right. Yeah, he had just broken up from Enzo, and I think they really want to try him as a singles. But this was, you can still pretty much say this was the highlight of Kevin Owens' career. So in this fatal four way, Triple H, he attacks, he basically betrays Seth Rollins, for whom he
First
was in the authority with.
first he takes out Roman and he helps
Yes.
Seth and he puts Seth on top of Roman, and then when it looks like he's gonna help Seth, that's when he pedigrees Seth, and you can just hear the crowd like, and even Michael Cole's like, oh my god.
Yep.
So yeah, so it was like really, yeah, it was something.
Yep. So Kevin Owens capturing his first and only world championship
Such
in
such a shame.
WWE.
Such a shame. That man
Yeah.
should be a multi-time world champ by now.
And then it got, ruined several months later by him losing to Bill Goldberg. But
In a
we
squash
digress.
match. In a squash.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Next on
Okay.
your list.
So my next one is actually this one just recently happened. It actually happened on SmackDown. I have Drew McIntyre winning the undisputed
The
WWE
only reason why I
Championship.
didn't put that on my list is because I think it is a better match than AJ versus Jinder. But, or it's also a better, well, I can't say that, but it's a better match than AJ and Jinder. But we just talked about it. So,
Yeah, but no, I put it just because it's like it was a feel good moment, especially because I felt like there were a lot of people that were expecting Cody to retain.
hmm
And so I think that we're not that it was like a complete shock, but I think people were just like, "Oh my god, they actually like they did it!" And apparently, Cody and Drew before their match went to creative and they pitched the title change and they followed through with it. So I have Drew simply because it's like he's worked so hard. He got screwed over. He first won the title with no fans, and then he lost the world title in like 5 minutes. And so it's nice that Drew finally gets a moment as champion. In fact, he even posted on Instagram him sleeping with the
Yeah.
WWE title. So
hmm Yeah. Well, Drew McIntyre, he's always gonna relish in in his victories, and it's pretty classic that he would do that on his own Twitter.
yeah. And then he put a funny tweet that said, "No longer bored at work." Yeah, I thought that was funny. He put out a tweet that says "No longer bored at work," and
That's
I'm
fucking
like, "That's
funny.
so." I know it's so fitting because yeah, yeah. So no, that was great. So that's what next on my list. So now we're getting into your top five.
My top five is Bret Hart versus Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid beating Bret the Hitman Hart in a steel cage match on Raw for the lead up to WrestleMania 13. This is the night where Bret the Hitman Hart absolutely snaps. And this is actually before the actual heel turn. But mass chaos goes in all different areas of ringside. At the time, you had Undertaker, you had Vader, you had Stone Cold coming out. Absolute chaos throughout this match. And Bret Hart justifiably is screwed out of the WWE Championship. This is where Psycho Sid wins his second WWF championship. And after this match, Bret Hart just loses it. Vince McMahon is in the ring, and this is before Vince McMahon is the evil Mr. McMahon character.
Was
This is just
was this before the screw job?
this is well no yes this is before the screw job. This yeah
This
because
is
Bret Hart's
before
still
the
in the company.
Montreal. Yeah. So this is
Yeah,
before the Montreal screw job.
exactly. So this is before the Montreal screw job because obviously Bret's still in the company here. Um, but Vince McMahon is in the ring, and he's Vince McMahon tells Bret Hart, Bret, you got to be disappointed. And Bret just absolutely goes ape shit, pushes Vince McMahon to the floor. And this is where you didn't hear cussing. You didn't hear any obscenities at all on WWF television. It was strictly a PG product. Um, Bret Hart says the bullshit word. He says he's been screwed left and right. He's even calling out Gorilla Monsoon, turning out a blind eye. He's saying everyone's screwing him, and he just absolutely loses it. And this is one of the first times where you saw real edginess on WWF television.
Do you think they were acting, or do you think they were
Oh well, no, it was all for,
being real?
you know, yeah. I mean, it was all kayfabe, but what a great moment though. What a great moment. All right, next on your list.
Next on my list, I have Kevin Owens. So again, like I said, it was it was actually a good match for it being a fatal four way. The crowd was very much behind Kevin Owens winning, judging by the pop that he got, and of course the shocking moment of Triple H turning on Seth, which officially made Seth Rollins a babyface for like the
hmm
first time in his singles career. Um, which of course that led to other things, but not to go too much off tangent. But yeah, it was great to see KO win. Sucks that that's been his only world title at this point, but it was well deserved and well earned. And I think the way they did it with the story was very, very well done.
hmm Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, next on my list is The Miz defeats Randy Orton on Raw, November 2010. This is where The Miz
That's
cashes in his Money in the Bank after many, many months, many attempts to cash in Money in the Bank. And this is the first time. Like I mentioned earlier, I did not remember The Miz winning the title for the second time.
yeah. But well, not to go up. This was actually the next one on my list, I'll talk about
So
it
we
too
can, yeah,
after you.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a great moment for the Miz. I think absolutely well earned. Him having his moment against Randy Orton, and he cashed in, and it also looked like Randy Orton was going to beat him.
Yeah, and it gave and then that's where we got the well famous one of the best WWE memes of angry Miz girl.
hmm Exactly.
So yeah, but it was a good moment, especially because like not that the Miz was a jobber, but he was more of like a tag team wrestler, like mid Carter. at that point, because he already was like, I think he was U.S. champ a couple times already. Um, so yeah, so I think it was good, especially because it's like WWE for years had a struggled building new stars, and I felt like that was a really good way of building the Miz. I know his reign may not have been like that memorable, but the fact that it showed you, like, see, they were capable of building stars if the moment was right. And I felt like the way they went about it was great, especially because he beat Randy Orton. It's not like he just beat some random
Right,
guy who was like barely bit. Is like, no, he beat a main event, multi-time world champion caliber superstar in Randy Orton.
right. Exactly. So great moment for the Miz, him winning his first title, and then that took him all the way to WrestleMania, where he beat John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania, one of the worst WrestleManias of all time.
And he doesn't remember that match because he got concussed.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, but most people remember it. Yeah, no, that WrestleMania wasn't that good. But anyway, that yeah. So Miz was next on my list.
Oh yeah. Um. Then my number three on my list, you have Andre the Giant defeating Hulk Hogan on Saturday Night's Main Event in 1988. This was the only time that Andre the Giant was WWF champion.
And he was champion for what, like 2 minutes?
2 minutes, because
Jeez.
as Andre the Giant in his own words said, he's going to relinquish the World Tag Team titles to Ted DiBiase, which he meant the WWF title.
Oh, he really did say world tag title.
He
Oh,
goofed up. Yeah.
oh, I have to go back and watch it. I didn't know that he actually said it. I just know I know he sold the championship to Ted DiBiase, but I didn't know he actually
Hmm.
said world tag titles.
The reason why this is so big too is because this was primetime television, Saturday Night's Main Event back in 1988. You had 30 million people tuning in to this. So it's the biggest numbers that the company has ever done, and probably still has ever done, watching this main event. And this was the rematch to WrestleMania 3, I believe from the year prior. And so, yeah, it paid off well. And it was a big time main event where Hogan lost the title, because Hogan did. I mean, you got to think about it. Back then, dude, we always talk about Roman Reigns being like, champion for 1,300 days. Back then, dude, you had like two, three champions in the 80s. It was Bob Backlund and maybe Bruno Sammartino at some point, or there was the Iron Sheik, and then it was Hulk Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan dominated the 80s, and he did not.
That
That was the
don't
first
work.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the first time he lost the title
that
in
don't work
three
for me,
years.
brother.
Exactly, but he lost it to the boss. The boss being Andre the Giant that night. So big
Yeah,
numbers for
yeah,
WWE.
yeah. So, but anyway, next on my list is that it's something you had mentioned earlier in your list. Is I have AJ Styles winning the WWE Championship on SmackDown. Again, I think it's mostly because like one of how talented and how over he was, and I feel like people were just tired of Jinder at that point. And I think especially because it was in London, the crowd had like a way better reaction than if it was in like the U.S. And also because it's like Survivor Series is coming up, and Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles is a much more intriguing match than Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, my number two is we are in the peak of 1998, dead hot in the summer. WWF was never hotter than what they were in 1998. And this was Stone Cold Steve Austin looking to get back his WWF championship, which he lost one night prior at the King of the Ring in 1998 to Kane. He lost it in a first blood match at the King of the Ring, and Austin got his rematch one night after on Monday Night Raw, and this was one of the biggest Austin moments, Austin matches in his career. I remember him coming out to such an ovation that night. I mean, the fact that he was the challenger at this point, even Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross like had to note it. He's the challenger in this, and then Kane coming out as the WWF champion. It was big. It was big for Kane's career to have that moment. He only had the title for one night, but you listen to Austin win back that title when he gives Kane that stunner. It's something that they'll never replicate again. in WWE history. It just there was magic there with nobody else, and so that's why I put it at number two.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
but I also have not he wasn't next, but I figured I should talk about it. I have Austin also. Because I do remember him. Well, I mean, I know I wasn't born yet, I wasn't watching, but I do remember that the moment like he did win it back because I remember seeing stuff of like, oh, Kane was only champion for a day, and then
hmm
Austin won it back. So that's why I remember because I remember hearing about it. So
hmm I
that's
skipped
where it
over
is for
one.
me.
I skipped over one match. It's Stone Cold, actually, a year later. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker on Monday Night Raw. Austin again winning the world title on a Monday Night Raw. Undertaker actually talked about this on his podcast. He talked about them coming in one evening and Vince saying, this is not working. We're going to change things up. We're going to put the title back on Steve." Meaning the Undertaker was going to drop the title that night to Stone Cold. And Undertaker wasn't happy about it, but they did the business anyways. And yeah, good match, good reaction from Stone Cold winning back the title. I believe this is
Yeah,
June of 1999.
yeah. So I'm gonna go over because I'll let you go over your number one, but I'm gonna go over my last one here. Which this one might be come as a shock to you, but I put it on here because we were there for it when Brock Lesnar beat Kofi Kingston
Oh,
on the
oh
first SmackDown on Fox at the
yeah.
Staples Center, and I know it was like what, like 30 seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
I have that up there just because it's like that was the first show on Fox, and it's like you want a big moment, and I feel like that was a big moment because and especially the way it happened is a shocking way that he just won it like so quickly, and I felt like that's how you want to kick off like a new generation, a new era with SmackDown being on Fox, and then
hmm
we got the very, 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 very short-lived WWE run of a Kane Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez. Can you believe that?
Yeah, yeah. When he walked out, we were like, everybody was like, "Who? Like
Oh,
who?"
yeah.
Because Rey
Yeah.
Mysterio came out, but he came. Yeah, so that was.
Yeah,
But
because he came
I
out. Yeah. He
right
came
at
out
the
with Rey
very end,
Mysterio's song.
and we thought like, oh, is there going to be like a match right now
I can't
or
even remember. Did
what?
he even wrestle in WWE?
He had one match with Brock and he lost.
Again, that's out of my memory bank.
I
That's
mean that
out of my
match that
memory.
match was crap. That match was crap. So you're not missing much.
Yeah, they only did
I'm
that to
pretty
play off their
sure. I'm
UFC
pretty sure.
match.
I'm pretty sure it's at a Saudi show. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah. So that's my last one. Simply just because I felt like it was the shock factor, and because we were there, and like
Yeah.
I think that was really the first. I think that was the first show where I actually saw a world championship change hands.
hmm It's such shocking. I mean, we fully expected like a match to happen, not just Kofi
Not
go up
not
one, two,
yeah.
three.
Not to think that because I think we all knew like okay, there's no way Kofi wins this. Like there's no way. But also it's like Brock also hadn't wrestled on TV in like years. I think he hadn't wrestled on TV since like 2003.
Right. Yeah.
And to this day, fun fact, that's Brock's only television match since he came back in 2012.
Well,
That's
he
the
was
only
supposed to
television
wrestle.
match he had.
He was supposed to wrestle in a tag team match. Was
And
it
then he
him
turned
and
heel.
Cody?
Raw after
Yeah.
Mania 39, we were
Yeah.
there, and then he turned heel and
Yeah.
attacked Cody.
Mhm.
I mean, there's been times where he was supposed to wrestle, but then he just
Yeah.
went crazy. But yeah, so I put that on there simply because it was like the shock value, and because we were there, because even we were like, what? Like we
Right.
couldn't believe it.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. All right. My number one, and this is going to be number one in the history of professional wrestling at all times. Not John Cena. Forget about that bum. He's retired. Um, it is a
You better watch
January.
your mouth there.
Watch about this. Show some damn respect.
Watch your mouth and show some respect. But yeah, I know what your number one is. I already talked about it, but carry on.
January 1999. It is Mankind challenging The Rock for the WWF Championship. Lots of variables in this match, considering you had the corporation on The Rock's side, and then Mankind recruiting DX to be on his side. Back and forth match, and then at the very end of this match, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out, screws over the corporation, hits The Rock over with a steel chair. DX helps cover the Rock, puts Mankind on top of him. One, two, three. The I mean, you talk about a crowd going absolute ballistic for Mankind. It was unbelievable to watch at that time, and it's still unbelievable to go back and watch it now. I mean, you look at what Stone Cold when he comes out, the roof is shaking off the hard
I'm
cam.
pretty sure the camera is shaking too. I think is with how loud it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, like I said, that was probably the loudest pop of Austin's career.
Oh yeah, and then that time Mick Foley winning the title. I mean, they pan into Vince McMahon's face, and he is so distraught. It is,
Mrs. Foley's baby boy.
yeah. So absolute incredible moment. That's why it's always going to be number one.
Yeah, no, like I said, that was my number. I know mine didn't really have a particular order, but I did say that. Yeah, that was my number one because I also think that's probably the most famous title change
Hmm.
on television. So
Right. Exactly. All right. That wraps up our list, and that's gonna wrap up today's podcast. Ryan, how you feeling? You feeling good about
yes,
that
sir.
list?
Yeah, sure. I like my list. I Our lists were very similar, but we had different reasons for
Hmm.
putting what we did, and then of course we had some slight differences. But yeah, no, I liked my list. I thought your list was solid, and yeah,